Hey there, Stampin' friends. Time for another card with Randy from Stampin' with Randy. We're going to be making a card using the Sweet Ice Cream stamp set and some Designer Series paper from the Ice Cream Corner Designer Series paper pack. The card we're going to make today is this card here. It's a fun fold card. When you open it up, there's a nice little message inside. So let's get started. Supplies you'll need for this are Bermuda Bay, Pool Party, Old Olive, Soft Seafoam, and Soft Suede ink. And we'll also need some scrap white papers to do some stamping on, some Pool Party cardstock that measures 5.5 by 7.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I did run just the front part of that card, the smaller section, through my Big Boss and using the Subtles embossing folder. You'll need some Designer Series paper measuring 5 1/4 by 4. I've got some Bermuda Bay cardstock here that measures 2.5 by 8 and it's scored at 4. And then you'll just need some die cuts. I'm using a die cut from the Stitch So Sweetly Labels die. And this one is about 4 by 3, that rectangle. And then I've got a circle here that is cut from the Circles Layering dies, and it's about 2 5/8. All right, so like I said, I ran this card base just this side through my embossing machine, and we're just gonna fold that in half there. Okay, and I seem to have misplaced my bone folder, so I'm just gonna give it a good press as best as I can. Then we've got our Bermuda Bay piece here. I'll just fold that in half along that score line. We're gonna adhere our Designer Series paper inside. Just like that, leaving a little bit of a border. I'll take my folded in half piece, and now I'm going to do some stamping on here. We're going to stamp using Bermuda Bay and the fun little pattern, looks like little polka dots, stamp from that stamp set, from the Sweet Ice Cream stamp set. And I'm just going to do a little bit of background spray here. Not a ton, just enough. One thing I should mention for this part is make sure that it's opening the opposite way that you would normally open a card, because it is going to be part of our fun fold here. Okay, so now that I've got that stamping done on here, I'm going to just adhere this to my card. I'm going to line it up here with the outside edge. There. Okay, so now we've got a fun fold flap there. We'll set this aside and let's stamp some ice cream cones. So this stamp has 2 parts to it. It's got like the top part and the bottom part of, I guess, more of a popsicle than an ice cream cone. And we're going to stamp in different shades. So here I've got Bermuda Bay, and then I'm going to use some Pool Party. And I'm going to stamp the bottom portion in the darker color, so in Bermuda Bay. Give it a good press there. And then I'm just going to stamp down here. And then I'll do my Pool Party. And it does have a little bit of a curve here, so I'm going to try not to get my head in the camera, but I'm going to line that up. And there we've got one of our popsicles. Let me clean these off over here. I'll set those colors aside. Now I'll do the same thing with our Soft Seafoam and Old Olive. Again, the darker color with the bottom part. And the lighter color on top. I think I'm going to stamp that green again and just stamp off once to make it a little bit lighter. There we go. Okay. And clean. And now I'm going to use the soft sea foam with the pool party. So I'll stamp the pool party on the bottom. And then soft sea foam. Okay. And then now I've got Bermuda Bay, or I'm sorry, soft suede. And I'm going to ink up the little popsicle stick and stamp that off before I stamp that down. Just because I'll be using the same color to make the wood grain on that popsicle stick as well. And that will be full strength. Okay, I'm going to go fussy cut these out and I'll be right back with you. All right, so now that I've got my pieces all cut out here, which really didn't take that long, I should mention that there is a punch that goes along with the stamp set. You can get it in a bundle, and it is the ice cream cone punch. There is not a punch or die set that will cut out these popsicles though, so they're pretty easy to cut just using your paper snips. So we will stick these together here. I'm just going to stick a little bit of adhesive there and center it and pop it up, and put it on there like that. We will use some dimensionals to pop it up onto our card here in just a minute. All right, there's those three. And before I put my ink away, let's stamp the inside. So this is that 4x3 piece from the Stitch So Sweetly labels die, and I'm just going to use the thank you from that sweet ice cream stamp set. See if I can get it on there straight. And then I'm going to use the You're So Cool underneath it, again using my Bermuda Bay ink. Okay, now just assembly is all that's left. So we'll stick this into the inside of our card. I'm putting it a little bit more off to the left so that it will be covered by that panel. Okay, and then on the front we're going to take our circle, and we are going to just adhere it down onto that Bermuda Bay flap. I tried to keep my adhesive more towards the center so that when it hangs off a little bit, it's not going to get stuck to the front of the card. And then I'm going to decide which order I want these to be in, kind of like this one in the middle. So I'm going to adhere these ones down flat to the card. And then this one as well. And then I'll pop that middle one up on some dimensionals. All right. If you wanted to embellish this a little bit more, you could put some rhinestones or sequins, maybe even some twine or ribbon on there, but I liked it just simple and without that. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.